Hi, traders, and welcome to the PL Capital Weekly Commodity Report. I'm your host, Paul. We're going to look at the usual natural gas, oil, copper, gold, silver, and uranium. So let's start. All right, this is natural gas. This is the spot market, and we have the potential for the fourth wave to now be in. So, as I've been saying, I see this as 1, 2, 3, and if you saw my video last week, they're extending this C wave of the fourth wave. And we could have hit it today, and we should be coming down for that fifth and final wave. So if we drill in, see what I'm seeing here. So last week I said, we had this three-wave move. That was one, three waves for two. It looks like this is 1, 2, 3 for 3. And then there's a little three-wave move down here for 4, and then a three-wave move here for 5. I'm just not 100% sure that this is done yet because of this wave right here. If this wave right here is 3 waves, then I think this is 3 waves, and then, so it's like a 3, 3, 5 for the third wave. It really all depends on this first wave, because there is, if I drill in a little bit more, there is this one little correction that it could be that they made an impulse actually. So it could be 1, 2, if that's 3, and then 4, and then like an ending diagonal, that could be 1, which means that that's 2, and then this, they've got the same thing again. That could be 3, and then this little correction could be 4, and then they went up for 5, and that'd be an impulse, which means that we're still in the third wave, because this will all be just the first of the third wave. And then they could be making like a running flat here. So they'd have this look. Now, I don't think it's going to be a running flat. I think it'll probably be an expanding flat. Because when they came down real sharp, I thought that could be the C wave, and then they would go back up and break the high. And then this would have been the running flat. And then this 3 would be sliding over to here. And then we still have a 4 and a 5 to come. But now that this moved down, they came down, gave a quick correction, and then one more down, it's 3 waves. And so this C wave would have had to been 5 waves. So not unless they're going to make a diagonal, and like this 3 wave was 1, and then they give this look 1, 2, 3 for 2, and then they come down for 3, 4, and a 5. And that's why I think it would be if they're going to make another run up, this would have to be an expanding flat, because this would have to be a big diagonal, and it wouldn't finish. It would finish below that 4, what I got labeled 4. So I still need to wait and see how this down move shakes out, because like I said, there is the potential that this is a 5-wave move up to here, and then this is just going to be an A, B, C. They go back up, and that's the third wave, correct for 4, and go back up for 5. I don't really like that, because just like I said in the last video, like this fourth wave is getting really, really massive. Now this fourth wave over here was really massive in terms of time. So I guess they could, just kind of chop around here and buy more time before they come down. But anyway, we'll just play it wave by wave. But for right now, I do see the potential that there are 5 waves that could be in. We just got to wait and see how this down move shakes out. So for now, I'm just going to leave it that 5 waves are in, and the 4 then is finally in. But if it gets kind of choppy up here, and well, especially if I see a diagonal play out here, then there's really a good chance that this is going to be an expanding flat for more up, because then that'll be 3, and then they'll have to come down for 4 and go back up for 5. And then when we look, so this is the spot market. So now when we look at the futures market, it's the same thing, except I kind of feel like on the futures market that this one might be done. So I'm going to go out to a 4-hour chart here. So if you've been following me since over here, I thought that they might be making a running flat. And I thought they'd be coming up here. Oops. And this is going to be the look of this running flat. There. But this first wave, it only went up in 3 waves. 1, 2, and 3. And so then, and when this started to sell off, I knew it wasn't going to be a running flat. And then they did the usual, natural gas move. They came all the way down and were like 2 ticks away from breaking the low, and then reversed it back up. Fake, complete head fake there. So I think they actually did make the C wave here for this running flat. So I thought that this was going to be the C wave, and I was always saying it would be coming back up into this range, but they didn't do that. So, but I think they did make an ending diagonal. So it's 1, 2, and then 1, 2, 3, 3 ways down for 4, and then 3 ways up for 5. And so now we can slide that over to there. And so on the futures market, I think we have 1, 2, 3, A, B, C. This is 4 over here, the completion of 4. This was all 4. And now it's going to come down. So when we drill in, let me clean this up here. We don't have confirmation. I'll feel better on this chart when they break 2, 1, 4, 2, because that's where the 4 is on here. Because I don't see a running flat necessarily on here. And 1, 2, yeah. I don't see like a running flat like I do on the potential for a running flat like I see on the cash market. Like this doesn't look, because this looks like 5 waves right here, and I don't think that'd be the 4. So for me, like I think if this futures market they break this 2, 1, 4, 2, I think that would confirm that the 5th wave is in, because there's always a potential that this is just the A wave of the 5th wave. It just had a deep correction here, and I still have one more up, and that'll be the ABC for the 5th wave. But once they break that 2, 1, 4, 2, then I don't really see a pattern on the futures market for it to go back up. So yeah, so for me, I'm gonna make that's an invalidation point, because I think then this is a 5-wave diagonal for the C wave, complete the 4th wave, and we should be heading down, and it's selling off. But we only have 3 waves so far. So like I said, we had 3 waves up, and now we have 3 waves down. And so, yeah, that 2, 1, 4, 2 for me is a key level. If that breaks, I don't see them going back up to break 2, 2, 7, 4. So that's what I'm watching for on natural gas. I think there's a good possibility that the C wave and the 4th wave are now in. So let's watch the price action on the next, probably the next couple of days will give us a real good indication. All right, let's move over to oil. Okay, oil. Oil looks really good. So zoom out to a 4-hour chart. We had this big 5-wave move up, and now we've had our ABC. And today I'm gonna have to drill in. I see 5 waves, and I don't even think that the 5th wave is totally done, because this last wave here, I really only see 3 waves up. So I think 79.23 won't be the end of the 5th wave, but for me, oil looks good. It's made a big ABC correction right into the perfect zone, and now they've made a 5-wave impulse. So at some point you're going to get a correction, and that is exactly where you should be buying. And then you got a couple of ways to play it. Either this ABC, that's just the A wave, and then they're going to make a B wave, and then still one more down, or this thing's going all the way up to break 87. So I'm only looking for buy setups in oil, but I wouldn't buy here. I'd wait for some type of pullback. At least, I don't know, maybe if you're lucky, down to like 78. Gotta wait and see where this 5th wave ends. But yeah, if you can get it at 78 or lower, that'd be ideal. So yeah, I'm only looking for buys in oil. Let's look at the metals. We'll start with copper. Go out to the 4-hour. Still would like to see copper come down to this 4.417, or down to like 4.2. So 1, 2, 3. There is a 3-wave move that we had last week, but I think that was just the A. This is B, and so I'd like to see them come in and at least break this, or at least get really close to this 4.46 level, and then I'd really start to look now for the buy setups. But yeah, if it definitely comes into this range, that's where I'd want to be buying for more up. Okay, gold. Okay, gold. So I said last week that I'd like to see it get into this green box, and they'd come down here, and I wanted to see them correct and come down one more time, and they did that, but they just barely broke the previous low. So it could be that the 4th wave is in. So for sure, I'd only be looking for buy setups. The only problem with gold is it's not looking real strong down here. So when they broke this low, I guess you could make a case for 5 waves. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And now it's just correcting. So, if you're a short term, you can definitely, I'd be looking to buy here, because there is the potential that is a 5-wave impulse. It could also be that they're making some kind of a flat, like an expanding flat over here. So this could still come down. But either way, I'm only looking for buy setups, because either the 4 is in, or it's just got one more trip down here, like the 2, something in the 220s. So, it's just a matter of picking your spot. I don't think this is a bad place to start to look for the buy, especially if you can afford if it drops down into here one more time. So, yeah, only looking for buys, and the potential for, I'm going to slide this over here. Potential for the 4 being in now is there now. So could be ready to take off, or there could be just one more wave down. Silver, yeah, same thing. Silver actually looks a little bit better than gold. So if I go to a 2-hour chart, they've come into this zone that I had for the last couple of weeks, and to me it looked like they're really making a leading diagonal. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and then they almost broke that 3 level. So one more push higher here, break that 2751, and that'll give you 5 waves. So I wouldn't be a buyer here, because after this 5-wave move, there will be a bigger correction, and almost undoubtedly they'll go below that 4 level, 2699. So just wait for the 3-wave a correction, most likely 3 waves. You'll probably be able to get it under 2699, and if you're lucky, 2680 or so. Got to wait and see where that 5th wave ends, but there'll be a bigger pullback, and then that's a really, really good place to buy. And at least it will go up and break, because we still don't know, like, all this first, this could be the A wave and they're just making a B, and then they still have one more, but I'd only want to be buying silver. And so yeah, wait for this 5th wave to complete, and then wait for the pullback, and then I'd be looking for the buy. Okay, uranium. All right, so uranium almost went and broke that high that I have over here. And this, to me, really is looking like a diagonal now. This looks like 1, 2, 3. That was 1. 1, 2, 3. That's 2. This looks like a big running flat here. 1, 2, 3. I think that's 3. I would have liked to see 3 do one of two things. One, break the 3259, because then we know that there's a lot more up, and at least get into this blue box, which is just above it, 3272, for the 3rd wave. So maybe, I don't know, this is a pretty sharp sell-off. I was thinking, like, maybe this was just the A wave of the 3rd wave, and then they'll give a 3 wave for the B, and then go in there. But I don't know, this is that'd be a pretty deep pullback for the B wave. Like these were just little pullbacks and then it exploded up. Like, that's already pretty deep, deeper than I would think. So I think this is 1 and this is 2, and 3 just kind of failed. Now the only thing is, like, they came so close to breaking that. So for right now, it's just a 3-wave move. So there's always a potential that this 3-wave move over to here, down to 2677, that was A, and then this is just like a WXY. And that's going to be like the B wave, and then they're going to come all the way back down for the C wave. There is that pattern that can still play out, and that just be a much bigger correction before they go back up. So yeah, like I've been saying, I'd only be looking for buy setups, and to be buying up here could be, well, not risky, but you're not playing for a whole lot, because if this is 1 and that's 2 and then that's 3, and if they do make a 4, that they might just go up and just barely break that. Like, you don't know how high this 5th wave will go, so you might not be playing for a whole lot if you're buying here. So can't really recommend, like, looking for buys up here. I think you missed it. I think you got to either be in it, or you just got to wait and hope that maybe it comes all the way down to make a bigger correction, because then buying down here to go up is obviously really good risk to reward. So yeah, uranium, I think you already got to be in it to want to be in this trade, because you're not playing for much. Even if they come down one more to finish the 4, like, you just don't know how high that 5th wave will go. So I mean, if you're a short-term trader and you don't care, then yeah, I'd only be looking for a buy underneath 3057 on this chart, because it's got to be a 3-wave move for that 4. So yeah, I'd think you only got to be in it for uranium for me. All right, that's what I see in the commodities. Hope it helps. Thanks for your likes and support, and I'll see you in the next video.